So 2015 has come and gone. I'm not usually the type of person to kind of look back and reflect on a year or even care about any certain date. I don't find that January 1st is any different than October 4th or any other date throughout the calendar. It makes no difference to me, and I don't see why it would, but hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking anybody else who does. But this last year was different. When I reflect on 2015, I haven't fulfilled all my dreams. It wasn't the year that everything that I ever possibly wanted came true. It wasn't the year that I became everything I wanted to be. But it was a really significant year, especially on the path to those dreams. But I think the biggest lesson I learned this year was to not only not listen to my own stories, but also to be okay with feeling the way I feel at that time. So often we tell ourselves, I shouldn't feel this way, I shouldn't feel this way. If you feel down, you feel like you're a failure, you feel like you shouldn't have the feelings that you have, but the truth is, you should have that feeling. Why? Because you do feel that way. But you have to realize that before every feeling comes a thought. Most of our pain and suffering is caused by the thoughts that we have. And most of the time, our thoughts aren't true. You can't control your thoughts, but you can most definitely question them. And realize that before every feeling comes a thought. So if you can slow down and question the thought, think about that. All these stories that you tell yourself, that I tell myself, that you don't have time. It's different for you. It's too hard. I'm not good enough. It's crap. All of it. They're all thoughts and stories that we've made up in our own minds. So when I reflect on 2015 and look at all the major changes and chances that I took in life in this year, it is an extremely significant year in my life. By far, the most significant year. I shook up everything. My family did, not just me. We've lived in Minnesota our entire lives until this year. I am 36 years old. I was 35 when we moved down here in April. We moved from Minnesota to Florida. Away from our friends, away from our family. Those were some thoughts in our head, some stories that we told ourselves as to why we can't, but we still could. Not that it wasn't tough. I quit my job of over 15 years to pursue my passion as a strength and nutrition coach. I left behind all my stories, that I was too old to do this, that I was too old to make these changes, that I couldn't do this to my family. Start completely over, completely fresh. All stories that I chose to believe before. And actually, when we came down here, I was planning on doing in-person training. Ended up switching to online. I love the flexibility behind it. I love being home with my wife all the time. I love seeing my son all the time and being around them and being with them. Whereas before, I felt like I hardly ever saw them with my job because I was gone all the time. And I didn't want to fall back into that trap again and work 14-hour days trying to hustle and trying to make ends meet. Now, don't get me wrong, I am still trying to hustle and I'm still trying to make ends meet, and I am far, far, far from successful at this point in terms of building up my own business. It is a struggle. It is hard. It is really freaking hard. But I know I just have to keep after it. I know if I don't give up, it will get better. I will make improvements. Things will start coming together. I don't have many clients right now. I can be thankful that the ones that I do have seem very happy with me, and that's awesome. But that's the thing about chasing your dreams too. I'm chasing my dreams to do what I love and make a living off of it, But at some point, I have to make money. I can't keep doing this breaking even. But I'm choosing not to believe the story that it's too hard and that I can't do it. Even though I have these feelings and these thoughts in my head all the time, I can't believe it. I feel my feelings and I move on. So I made a ton of changes this year, and it's way too early to tell if these changes will be a quote-unquote success. But at least no matter what, I will not sit around later in life wondering what would have happened if I had just taken that chance. What would have happened if I just tried? At least I don't have to worry about living with that regret, because I would rather try at this and fail miserably than spend my life wondering what if. So if there's any message I can really try to nail home for you guys that are listening to this and still with me, I know this is a long video. If there's something in life that you really want, I strongly urge you to go for it. Leaving behind any excuses and stories that you tell yourself as to why you can't, why it's different for you. It's not. It is not different for you. I know people usually don't mean anything by it, but it always bugs me when people tell me that I'm lucky that I'm in Florida, that I'm lucky that I'm doing what I love. Trust me, there was no luck involved in this transition. If you only knew the half of what I've gone through to try to get down here and get this going, your head would spin. It took 2 years to get down to Florida from after the time we made a decision to actually do it, because there were so many problems that arose. And I have the mental struggles. I've had them and I continue to have them. But if you really want something, you go after it and you do not give up. Too many people won't take any chances and won't make any changes unless every little tiny thing is laid out in front of them and they have a guarantee. But life does not have guarantees. It does not work that way. If you want something, you just got to go for it, and you have to do it now, because there will never be a better time. There will never be a time that makes more sense. And I don't say all this to pretend like I'm better than anybody else, because I know I'm not. And I don't pretend to have all the answers either. But I do know this. Once you stop going for the things that you do want, you automatically get the things that you don't want.